Hello friends, I hope you are fine. Today we are going to learn what are variables and constants in Swift. So I have created a blank playground and this is the default that I get. What I will do is I will clean this file and now what are variables? Variable basically is a memory location somewhere in RAM where you reserve a box and then you put some value in that box when you assign basically value to that variable. As the name depicts, that variable means that value inside that box, it will change or it can change. So let's now look at how we can declare a variable in Swift. So to declare a variable in Swift, there is a keyword which is var, and after that you put a name to that variable. For example, let's say we say welcome message, and after that there should be a colon and followed by the data type of that variable. So at this point in your RAM, basically there is a box created with the name welcome message, and that box you are declaring that it can hold or store values of string type. So now what I'm doing is that I'm assigning value to that variable. For example, we say hello world. So if you look at this statement on the left side, it's the name of that variable, and then on the right side of this equal to operator is the value of that variable. What that mean is that we are taking this value and assigning to that box with the name welcome message in RAM. Now variable, when we say variable, it means that it can store basically or change value of the same type. For example, let's first print this welcome message on screen. So it is basically retrieving a value stored in this variable and printing on the console. Now what we will do is we will change value in that box, hello there, and print again the value stored in that variable, and now it says hello there. And that means that we can change the content of that box by similar type of similar type of value. It doesn't mean that you can now change to a constant integer value, as it is throwing that you cannot assign value of into type string. So you can only update the content of that variable with similar value. Now you can see that I have declared that variable on one line, and then I have assigned basically value on a different line. But you can do that on the same line as well and save some lines, and it will remain same. There won't be any change in value, as you can see that on right side it's still saying hello world. Now this part where you are declaring that this is of string type, you don't need to declare it, you can omit that, because what Swift does is it will infer the type of variable, which is string, based on the initial value that we provide. For example, if we try to check what type of this variable is, it is showing that it is string type. So you can omit that. For example, if we declare another variable age and tell store 10 value in that variable, it will so sif.or at gmx.com, for example. So based on that value 10, it is inferring that it is of integer type. And same goes for the email. It can infer based on initial value what type of value it is storing. So you can store, for example, boolean variable, for example, is working, and you can store true. And if you check its type, it is inferring that it is of boolean type. So Swift compiler can basically automatically infer the type of variable. That there are 4 variables on 4 different lines, but you can combine them on one line. For example, we can say age is equal to 10 and email is equal to all in one line, and we can remove that. So you don't need to repeat this keyword var with every variable, and you can declare many variables, as many as you want, with initial value. Or you can also do like this x, y, z, and you want all to declare of int type or integer type, you can also do that. Same with the constant, you can declare as many constant on one line. And let's print the other items on, for example, let's say age. And you can see that it is printing welcome message and age on a new line. So this print function, as you can see, we don't have any framework from Swift included in our program, but still this function is available. So Swift basically provides this global function which you can use without including any framework. And what it does is that it uh, prints the value of one or more variable. You can, for example, uh, print welcome message and email on the same line, separated by this space. This is the default. And once it is done, then it adds one new line, and next output is on the next line. But you can change that if you want. There is an extra argument which basically is terminator, and instead of new line, if you want to have just one without inserting a new line at the end, you want empty space. So it joined basically all 3 values. And if we add a space, then after email it is adding a space, and then it is printing 10. Okay, so now let's look at what are constants and how to declare them. So let's say, since we have already declared x, y, z, so for example, we say x and it is integer. Now we are declaring one integer, and it is of int type. And basically constants are declared with the keyword let, uh, unlike var. And once you assign a value 10, for example, and after that, if you want to change, you cannot change. Compiler should throw an error. So immutable value may only be initialized once. So this constant is used for those kind of values, where uh, we are not expecting any change. So let me initialize constant at the time of declaration, and initialize another constant 2 and c is equal to 5. And if we print, print x, value of x, it will print 10. So this is how we declare a constant. So in real life applications, we declare those values of type variables where we expect that during program they will change, and those values we mark them constant where we don't expect them to change. For example, in our app there could be number of maximum login attempts which we don't expect to change. For example, it could be 2 3 4 5 1, and it is set only when once, where there might be other uh, types where we expect them to change and mark them variables. So I hope you understand. If you have any questions, please let me know in comment section, and if you have another feedback, please also let me know. Subscribe, share and like so that I can make more videos and stay motivated. Thank you.